Hey everybody, you're watching We the Fandom, where we discuss comic books, pop culture, and the fandom experience. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more content. How's it going everybody? Jacob here at We the Fandom, and with the first episode of WandaVision coming out next week, I wanted to do a character explanation based on the comic book history of Scarlet Witch, from her origin to the events of House of M, the comic book which seems like they may be doing an adaptation for WandaVision, albeit an extremely loose adaptation given that there currently aren't any mutants in the MCU. Now, Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, is a transient sorceress and the twin sister of the speedster Quicksilver, aka Pietro. She and her brother are the mutant children of Magneto, the master of magnetism, who after escaping Auschwitz as a young man, settled down with a woman named Magda. However, after an incident involving a fire and Magneto using his powers against the local villagers, Magda would flee her husband, having been pregnant with the twins. She and her brother were left at Mount Wundagore to be raised by the Catwoman Bova, who would in turn put them in the care of the gypsy couple, the Maximoffs. During her childhood, Wanda would become a conduit of chaos magic, allowing her to manipulate probability and warp reality itself. Wanda would later meet the witch Agatha Harkness, who would train her to become one of the most powerful magic wielders on Earth, after which she and her brother would go on to join the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, fighting for her father's cause. Though that ended up being pretty short-lived due to Wanda and Pietro ultimately not agreeing with Magneto's extremist views. After many Avengers had gone on a leave of absence, she and Pietro were recruited by Captain America along with Hawkeye, and the three of them would go on to become prominent members of the team. During her tenure as an Avenger, she would become more adept in magic use without realizing she was utilizing the power of the Elder God Chthon. This would also coincide with her leaving and rejoining the Avengers, with her and Quicksilver learning that they were the children of Magneto. After Ultron had created the Vision to destroy the Avengers, he would instead choose to join them. He and Scarlet Witch would fall in love, but due to his artificial nature, they were unable to conceive children. To correct this problem, Wanda would use her reality-altering powers to create two twin boys, Tommy and Billy. Now, it would later turn out that they were actually spiritual fragments of the demon lord Mephisto. The spell was later broken, erasing the boys from existence, and Agatha Harkness would erase the memory of the children from Wanda's mind, but not before they were reincarnated into Wiccan and Speed, whose powers matched hers and her brother's. Though Wanda later would recall her loss, she suppressed this memory over the long term in order to maintain her sanity. Over time, the power of the chaos magic she would wield would cause great strain, and after an offhand comment from the Wasp about her lost children, this experience would drive her over the edge, and during her mental breakdown, her chaos magic would go awry, causing her to accidentally kill some of her teammates, to include the Vision, as well as to create odd incidents involving other members of the Avengers. This event would cause the Avengers to disassemble and the whole superhuman community to mourn the loss of the heroes. Now, Doctor Strange actually appeared at the end of this tragedy, having sensed an abuse of magic and learning of Wanda's recent problems. Strange would use the Eye of Agamotto to basically show her a memory so horrible that she would end up going into a catatonic state. Magneto would appear to collect his daughter and brought her to the island of Genosha so Professor X could help her. Unfortunately, Xavier was too late in trying to help her, and so he gathered the Avengers and the X-Men so they could decide on her fate, given that she was a danger to the entire world. Having heard that they considered killing her, Quicksilver would go to his sister and convince her to take drastic measures, causing her to rewrite all of reality into the House of M, a reality where mutants were first-class citizens and Magneto was ruler. Wolverine, being the only person who could see through this illusion, would help awaken and rally heroes to unseat Magneto and wake Wanda up, who had used her own powers on herself and didn't realize that the world she lived in wasn't real. After Magneto realized that Quicksilver was behind it all, he killed his son. However, with Wanda now awakened, she revived her brother, and angry at both Magneto as well as Xavier, before saying, "No more mutants." Using her reality warping abilities, she effectively wiped out the powers of 98% of the mutant population. Surviving mutants would refer to this day as M-Day, and would be known as the worst day in mutant history. In terms of her abilities, Wanda has a slew of powers that stem from chaos magic, to include the ability to weave spells, telekinesis, energy projection, probability manipulation, but probably the greatest ability and the one that makes her such a formidable character is her ability to alter reality on at least a planetary scale. Having gone over that, I'd like to do a quick review of the history of Scarlet Witch in the MCU, which is definitely a lot shorter. Without mutants, her history in the MCU is pretty different. Basically, she and her brother were the survivors of an attack in Sokovia. They would later be experimented on by Hydra, which would activate powers in them, with Quicksilver having super speed and Scarlet Witch having a form of telekinesis as well as energy projection and hypnotism. Quicksilver would die during the fight against Ultron, However, Wanda would go on to join the Avengers and eventually fall in love with the Vision. When Thanos came to Earth searching for the Infinity Stones, the Vision would perish, and Wanda herself would be dusted away in the snap, later to be brought back when the Hulk snapped everyone back during Avengers Endgame. So next week, WandaVision comes out, and this series basically picks up sometime after the events of Avengers Endgame and probably after the events of Spider-Man Homecoming. That's all I have for you guys today. If you're new to We the Fandom, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like, and I will see you all next time.